You know, in language, some words are really specific, but others are like Swiss Army knives. Today, we're going to look at one of the most powerful, hard-working tools in the entire English language, a word you and I use all the time, probably without even thinking about it.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. How much heavy lifting can one simple word actually do? I mean, how many different jobs can it have in the things we say every day? The answer? Well, it's pretty surprising.
To start finding that answer, let's look at a number, 850. Now what's that? Well, this is the number of core words in a system called Basic English that was developed way back in the 1930s. The whole idea was to create a simple version of English where just these 850 words could say almost anything you needed to say.
And today, we're diving deep into one of the real superstars from that powerful list. A simple, four-letter word that's like a main gear in the engine of our language. Move. Okay, so first things first, let's look at move in its most common role, the one we all know, as a verb, a word that's all about action. At its absolute core, the verb move is about one single thing, changing your position. You know, going from point A to point B, or even just shifting where you are. It sounds simple, right? But let's see just how much range it has.
Here's a perfect example we've all heard. Please stay in your seat until the plane stops moving. In this case, moving is talking about the whole plane, the whole vehicle, changing its location from one place to another.
But that same word can scale way, way down. Think about this sentence. I was so afraid I couldn't move. Now, we're not talking about traveling anywhere. We're talking about the simple, small-scale inability to change the position of your own body. You're just frozen. And get this, move isn't just about what you can do. It's about what you can make happen. Can you move your chair so I can get by? Now you're the one causing an object to change its position. So that's three really distinct actions, all from the same simple verb.
But what happens when we stop doing the moving and we start talking about the move itself? Well, the word completely transforms. It's not just an action anymore. It becomes an idea, a concept. Let's take a look at move as a noun.
So, as a noun, a move is kind of like the action itself all packaged up into an idea. It could be one single strategic thing you do to reach a goal, or it could be the entire huge event of changing where you live. For example, the move had not been expected. This has nothing to do with physical motion, right? It's about a strategic action, a deliberate choice. You could be talking about a chess game, a business deal, a political decision. It's a calculated step.
And then you've got this other super common meaning. The move to the city was completed in a week. Here, the move isn't one single action. It's the whole shebang, packing up boxes, driving the truck, unpacking, starting over somewhere new.
And of course, there's this classic, I finished my turn, it's your move. In a game, a move is your turn, your specific chance to act and push your strategy forward. So here's the key difference, right? When it's a verb, move is the physical doing. But when it's a noun, it becomes the idea of that action, the plan, the strategy, or the whole big event.
But what's really cool is that move doesn't just exist by itself. It's like the head of a whole family of words, and they're all built around this one central idea of movement.
Just think about all the related verbs we use. We can go, we can run, or we can walk. We can change, we can turn, we can rotate. Each one is just a specific flavor of moving adding its own little bit of detail to the action.
And you can actually see the word evolve in this really logical way. You start with move. That's the action. What's the result of that action? A movement. If something has the ability to be moved, we say it's movable. And the person who does the moving? Well, that's the mover. It all just fits together perfectly. So you might be wondering, why are we spending all this time on one little four-letter word? Well, because when you really understand how move works, it shows you something much bigger. The incredible hidden power of simplicity in our language.
And here it is. This is the most important takeaway. Simple, hardworking words like move aren't just for beginners. They're the foundation. They are the strong, reliable bricks you use to build even the most complicated ideas.
What this really means is that you don't always need a giant vocabulary. By truly mastering a core set of words, like those 850 words in Basic English, you get the power to express almost anything with total clarity. And that's a real superpower.
So, I'll leave you with a question to think about. What are the other simple, foundational words that you depend on every single day? Words like get, or put, or make.
How many different jobs do they do for you? Because the real magic of language isn't always in its complexity, but in the simple strength of its most basic parts.